Alright guys, welcome to another amazing video, of course. And in this video, what we're going to be doing is we need to build one more small function. Actually, we can code everything right up here, but I want to break it up into another function for, just simplicity. And all this function is going to do is basically take our results, and we figured out everything we need to here and insert it into a MySQL result table. So let me go ahead and build a function, and I already called it insert into result table. So paste that right there. And of course, it's going to take some parameters, actually a lot of parameters. Now, let's see if I can remember everything. The first thing it's going to take is the company ticker, and after this, it's going to take the next day increase. So, yeah, I guess I might as well start coding this. Should I just code it and then pause the video? Nah, you guys can watch me. Next day increase, and then it's going to take next day increase percent. And I'm just going to name all these variables the same for simplicity. And actually, since this is moving off my screen, what I'm going to do is, man, I'm going to have some long queries too. Okay, I think I'm going to do something a little bit weird. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to go ahead and code this function, and then I'm going to talk you guys through it, because I'm going to have a bunch of long stuff and it's going to go off my screen, and it's going to be complicated if my screen keeps moving for the YouTube player. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys, so even though there was like half a second in between me saying that and me coding, what I did is I coded the rest of this script, and basically this function takes, I don't even remember how many parameters, but the first one is the company ticker, and that is just so we can, determine what company we're working with. The next day increase, wow, can't even manage it. The next day increase is pretty much how many days did it go up. The next day increase percent is the percentage that it went up, like 80%. The average increase percent was something like, I don't know, it increased by average of 5% or 7% or something. The next day decrease percent, and the average decrease percentage is all the same things. Instead, it has decrease instead of increase. Now, remember I said that there are two factors that you really need to, look at whenever you're deciding whether or not to buy stock. The first is how many times or how likely is it to increase or decrease, and aside from that is the average amount of change, because if a stock you figure is likely to increase 60%, if you found that two companies are both likely to increase 60%, which one would you choose? Well, you would need to look at the average change and which one of the companies changed greater is the one that you would want to choose. You get what I'm saying? So instead of the frequency, you also want to take into account the percentage of change on average. So what I did was I actually multiplied these two numbers together, the number of days that it goes up in the average amount of change, and this is actually the percentage and the percentage, and I threw those into a number called Bucky's buy value and Bucky's sell value. Now these may be a little skewed at times depending on, well, whenever we run the script, we're probably going to see that this isn't always the best indicator, but it's always cool to make up your own formula. So that's what I'm going to do. So aside from that, what I did was I just made a simple query, and all this query does was it selects all from analysis A. So even though we didn't make this table yet, I'm going to be creating this table manually in MySQL and PHP MyAdmin. So it's going to select all the data from analysis A, where the ticker is equal to company ticker. So basically, in each of these tables, it should have each row should be equal to a company. So if row equals 1, then that means that the company already has data in there, so we just want to update the data. However, if it's the first time we run the script, then there isn't going to be any company information in the table. So that's why I said, okay, if number of rows equals 1, then just go ahead and update the data. However, if number of rows equals 0, then we want to insert the data into it for the first time. We just can't have update, because if it's the first time, we wouldn't have anything to update. And then this master loop right here, the reason I have that is it just calls this main function and kickstarts everything. So whenever we run the script, it's basically going to hop right down here to master loop, and it's going to kickstart all of our script and basically kickstart the program, run it off. So yeah, there you have it. And like I said, I know I didn't show you guys me coding this, but check out. These queries are super long because there's a bunch of stuff I'm inserting into my database, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this right now and post it all on my forum, tnbforum.com, under the PHP section. And guys, please, we're done basically coding for this tutorial. What I need to do now is I need to set up the table analysis A, and I also need to go ahead and run, test, and debug these scripts. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.